Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the southern shores of the Great Lakes, the place, the Windy City. But tonight we have a twist. Downtown Chicago turns to thunder and lightning as the demons invade town and look to tear it up, Fast and Furious style, right here in the city of Chicago. Good evening, everybody. I'm your host of this evening's event, Matt Metler, of course, up here in the Ghost Cup Series booth. Ghost Cup Series, oh my God, that's just a race in the Ghost Cup Series. Demon Truck Series booth tonight as we are primed for 30 laps around this state-of-the-art modern road course configuration, which again is made out of the city streets right here from downtown Chicago. Qualifying underway right now. Let's go ahead and pull up that timing tower for you guys so you can see, currently track the progress here. Eddie Baker, currently has the pole with the best lap of 1:31.93, as we still have roughly 3 minutes left in qualifying. Not seeing anybody out on the track right now at the moment. But as soon as we do, we'll cut coverage to some qualifying action here for you guys as we get set, ready to rock and roll here in prime time. Want to thank everybody for coming on board with us tonight, alive and vibing in the YouTube chat. Sound off, let us know who you're rooting for. We'll get them some extra screen time this evening as well. While we're waiting for that to happen, let's take a look at today's race information. Go ahead and throw that up on the screen for you viewers at home. You can follow along with us. Again, the weather can't get any better. 78 degrees, partly cloudy. 45% humidity, just a touch of moisture in the air. That wind, a non-factor again, 2 miles an hour. That is not going to have any type of impact on the racing here. Track length, 2.12 miles. That's a geological oddity. Temperature, 120 degrees. So it is slick, it is hot. And Chicago, believe it or not, even though it's right off the shores of the Great Lakes, altitude, 605 feet above sea level. And again, right here in the state of Chicago. Hope you're ready to rock and roll with us in prime time here tonight. Qualifying finishing up as we're well under a minute now. Let's go ahead and see if we can get those qualifying results for you guys. Let's go here and let's throw this over here. There you go. As you can see currently, that 84 being piloted by Baker, the fastest man in town at a 1:31.93. Gary W. Smith currently holds that second place position. He's been hot as of late in that 3 machine of 131.99. You can see just how tight the field is there in the top 2. Just a couple hundredths of a second. The deciding factor between the pole and second place position. Mike White having another strong qualifying effort here in that 19 ride. A 1 minute 132.87. That's good for third right now. And we also have a couple new guys in the house tonight. That includes Trey Whitehead, one of the Cup drivers, coming over here as well as we get set ready to rock and roll in the downtown streets of Chicago. See if we can get that pace car. Come on, work with me here. Camera crew had to do a lot of extra work, get everything set up here tonight, because these streets normally are for commute. There we go. iRacing.com pace truck, that Chevrolet Silverado is set. The field is set behind him. These demons, poised and primed, ready to do business here tonight. Coleman, that 00 machine, he's going to start just outside the top 5 in that 6th place position here this evening. 7th belongs to Randy Schuler. He'll be piloting that 31. And inside the top 10, Mark Robinson Jr. in that 4 machine. In 11th tonight, as these results are changing just a little bit, it's going to be Chris Zofield in the 88 Hupka Motorsports. DJ Daniel. DJ the money, all I do is win Daniel, it seems here. He's going to start probably a little deeper than he would like to tonight. In that, looks like at 11th place position. This field's rolling and is set. We're not currently under caution, as it says there on the ticker. That's just due to this track configuration. Sometimes it gives SDK a little bit of trouble, but we should be perfectly fine tonight. So that field on their warm-up lap. Getting those temperatures up. Try to work some heat in these tires. "21 drivers. What? Robert Gillard was crashed? There's no way. That's a Cup Series driver. I doubt he has already had an incident on the racetrack, or I would hope not. Or perhaps that's karma for him bailing my broadcast partner from the opening races this year. Robert's been up here in the booth with me. He's decided to put his race suit back on and go out there on the racetrack. That pace truck now takes them over that Xfinity Hotspot Mobile Zone. That bridge there, this gets tricky at speed. The truck's going to get really light as it climbs up the hill. Then you have this hard, really sharp blind turn here, followed by another one here as you get into Toyota country, or the TRD zone, as I like to call it. And then you do the Indy snake here, right and left-hander winding. As timing and scoring is now saying multiple drivers have crashed, we're just going to disregard that. So those lights are off on the pace truck as we're ready to rock and roll here. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us here tonight live on GRN, your esports sim racing action leader. Come home to 5 nights of high-octane coverage as that pace truck pulls off, getting ready to hit the button here for the first time here tonight. As these demons are screaming now here from downtown Chicago, green flag in the air, and that glorious V8's come to life. Oh, already locking up the tires there. That's going to be the 19 of Mike White. We stay smooth here, lean and clean through turns 1, but we got a long ways to go. There's the 3 of Gary W. Smith making his way on his first lap here under green flag conditions. Oh, someone just bought the farm. Charles Whitehead ate the fence. That didn't take long. Let's go ahead and slow this down here. Go back to the GRN instant replay. Is Charles Whitehead the first man to make contact here? He got too hard on the loud pedal there and just hooks that EcoBoost F-150 right into the concrete. And remember, that's not a safer barrier. Hopefully he'll be all right here. Is this on the opening lap of competition? Taking you back now to the live action. Winding up here, uphill now. Eddie Baker continues to lead. Sends it down there through the corner. Great entry. And, throw Gary W. Smith into that equation as well, because he had a great corner there. That's what you got to do there. You got to cut it tight, but kind of widen it out there so you can carry as much momentum through there as possible. Now through Big Mac Alley. This corner here is rather difficult as it's slightly downhill. You see the 84 there got really tight. Now getting more reports here that more drivers have crashed on the racetrack. Jackson Dixon looks to have had a problem. You can see him. He's working the outside. Oh, he tried to get around another truck. No problems there. That was just a pass. Oh, he overcooked it and just did a rail slide right into the tires there. Good news is he wasn't carrying a ton of speed. That 33 machine should be okay. There's multiple drivers here having problems. Curtis Rogers also has had an incident out there on the racetrack as well. Let's see what happened to Rogers here in the opening laps. Coming up into the braking zone here. Does he carry too much speed there? No, all clean. Just went right around on him, tried to carry too much speed, or perhaps jumped on the brakes late. Too much rear brake, and that thing just spun right around on him. Again, not too much damage there. Still plenty of time in this one as we have a new fast man in town. Eddie Baker puts down the hot lap at a 1:32.80 as we now move coverage back to the front. What do you say we go on board with your leader? You get a bird's eye view of just what this course looks like here from the driver's position. And again, nothing like you've ever seen in a NASCAR sanctioned event. Is this doesn't even remotely look like any road courses I've ever seen. This looks like something directly out of Formula One. You can see just how narrow, the racing grooves, these lanes are here. As he comes through here to the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Arena, just look how blind, these corners are. You don't have good visibility, and if you think that's bad, just wait till we get further through this racetrack. Remember, it's 2.12 miles long here. He's into the Xfinity Wi-Fi zone. Now, this is where it's going to tighten up right here in Big Mac Alley. I mean, look, if you can't see anything until you're there. So if there's a truck in front of you that has had a problem, an incident, a wreck, you're in it before you know it. It's almost like getting in a crash at Talladega, except it happens here because of limited visibility and just how grueling these turns are here as far as, the hard right, the hard left, because you got to remember, these are indeed city streets normally used for passenger cars that we're racing on here. Really getting around here good. Eddie Baker doing a great job here early. Starting to get some pressure there, though, from Mike White in the 19. Oh, he comes up and talks him. Oh, we got big-time problems. Why does that happen every time we go on board? I'm sorry, that wasn't Mike White, unless someone doesn't have their paint showing correctly. Was that Bogdan that rattled his cage? Here we go. This is just what happened moments ago as we were on board. No, I don't think that was it. However, Hunter Bogdan had some issues there as well in that '08 machine. See just how winding, this configuration is. Very rarely are you going straight. These drivers are constantly up on the wheel, being very engaged, trying to be fast, lean and mean around this 2.12 mile facility. Got some trucks here on pit road tonight, making their first time down pit road. Got the Hendrick Chevrolet Silverado there. That's going to be the 84 machine. DJ Daniel having a great run here early. He's one of your biggest movers of the race. Why is it still stuck on replay? Can I go back live, please? No, we can't. And again, I thought maybe this would be a slight problem here. We're going to try to work through this, as the third-party software we use to make this all possible doesn't really understand that this is a road course and it's not a typical oval and it's not dirt track racing either. So sometimes these things happen here. See if we can just refresh that for you guys. There we go. DJ Daniel runs in that 4th place position. Oh, wheels! He went for a ride there. Overcooked the corner, got into the Waffle House's bacon grease, and he has some moderate damage to that Silverado. DJ Daniel hip checks the wall. And these guys are, some of the best under the Spooky Simulated umbrella. I mean, Wheels, he may be a rookie in the Cup Series, but he is lighting it up just about everywhere. And you can see both him and, DJ the Goat Daniel. Oh, he spins the 31 of Whitehead. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not Trey's in the 83 tonight. Randy Schuler got yeeted. These guys are playing rough. Still got 25 laps to go in this thing. You got to survive, be alive to make it to the end. Great battle here on the racetrack, though, for position. This is where the Hornet's Nest is. It's hot and heavy. From about 7th to 11th place you're looking at right here. Schuler's going to try to get back in that contest as he's just a couple truck lengths off of the 84 now. We continue to be green since the drop of the green flag tonight. Oh, I love that sound. Nothing like the sound of a push rod V8 ricocheting off all of the tall buildings here in downtown Chicago. DJ Daniel, after that melee on the racetrack, finds that EcoBoost F-150 back in that 13th place position. His counterpart, No Bills, Dixon, just behind Daniel in that 14th place position. Mike Sebanovsky on pit road right now. His first pit stop of the evening. You see him coming down into his pit there, getting some work done on that Chevrolet from Hubka Motorsports. Little big time damage there. Is that the 51? Charles Whitehead. The front of his truck is gone. Forget just the bumper. He's got the fenders, everything. Like a bomb went off in that thing. Charles, big time problems here early. Go back to the front. Gary W. Smith taking it to the point. He carries the torch for the first time tonight. It's going to show him some love here, but doesn't look like he has his SDK updated. It just says driver. But nonetheless, Gary W. Smith having a great drive here so far in the early going. You can see him just getting to a rhythm, and that's really what this track is about. Just getting, getting as a driver, getting into that mindset, just shifting gears, transitioning from the throttle to the brake, finding your groove, finding your vibe. And he seems to have found it as he is getting good and checking out of Dodge as his interval continues to increase, approaching 9 seconds over Mike White in that TRD-powered 19 machine. Columbia sponsor on that truck. Looks great tonight. Up one position from where he started. In fact, first and second positions respectively up one spot from where they started. Ryan Phillips, the big man on the move here early, up 10 positions. We're not even 10 laps into this thing. Take a look at the lap times here. Last time by, makes sense. Ryan Phillips, fastest truck out there on the racetrack, or on the circuit, I should say, at a 1:34.98. Not the fastest lap. That's being currently held by your leader, Gary W. Smith, at a 1:32.95. But nonetheless, Phillips knows how to get going because he has wasted no time charging to the front here from the Windy City. See just what it looks like when we go on board. I mean, I've been here a couple times, myself and my former broadcast partner, Tony Trapasso. We probably called, 7 to 10 races here. And it's still just, you think you get used to it, and you don't. As a race car driver, you think you can prepare for this or simulator time, but the drivers even tell you nothing you really do prepares you for, when you when you strap into your race car and you send 38 cars out here and you go to war, just how restricted you are, the visibility. You don't have any runoff area. You got concrete walls on both sides. So if something's going wrong in front of you, you don't have, all the outlets, places to get away. You're basically caught in it. Often more times than not. We continue to ride there with the 23 of Ryan Phillips, your biggest mover of the race thus far through the early going from Chicago, Illinois. Bring you down through the field now. Caution on the racetrack. What has happened? I believe they only said we were going to throw a yellow if the track was completely blocked and plugged. Oh, Trey Whitehead, my teammate in the Ghost Cup Series, he may have had a problem. Oh, this doesn't look good. Let's go ahead and slow this down here for you guys. Whitehead's going to be in that 82 machine. Looks like he's already had some big-time problems there, perhaps. Oh, yeah, he is torn up. He's got he can't even turn. What happened to Whitehead? We're going to commit a cardinal sin here. Not supposed to hit the rewind button, but because you weren't able to get that replay cued just perfect, let's go ahead and just roll this thing back and find out what happened here. Why are we doing that? That's not right. Let's try this again. Gonna back it up just a little more. Oh, that's what happened. He thought he was Matt Mettler at Richmond coming into pits instead of taking out the barrels. Watch this. We just bonsai. Lock him up. Yeah, that'll do it every time. And Trey Whitehead, no slouch. Definitely a force to be reckoned with. Seasoned race car driver having issues here, as that truck is used and abused. Let's go back to the live side of things. No change at the point. Gary W. Smith continues to lead here in that 3 machine as we're under our first caution for incident on the evening. Mike White in that 19 ride resides in second. Ryan Phillips, he has been fighting, clawing, and just robbing people point blank in broad daylight for spots in that 10th place position. Austin Wheeler in the 48 in fourth. Trey Whitehead in that 83 machine. That is going to get hard to get used to. 6 belongs to Eddie Baker. Kevin Coleman resides in 7th. Justin Potts, Brady Schumer, and Jay Morton round out the top 10. As we get ready to go back to green flag action here from Chicago, we're going to take our first break here, but you're not going to miss anything as we go all out coverage. We're going to pay some bills, and we'll be right back momentarily. Race fans, welcome back to Chicago, Illinois. As the Ghost, I gotta stop doing that. The Demon Truck Series, live from the downtown streets of the Windy City. Gary W. Smith, your leader, he's gonna have the button. Gonna be a little Gary W. Smith on Mike S. White affair on the front row. Approach the restart zone. He's going to smash the loud pedal and jamming back through the H pattern one more time. Green flag back in the air. Of course, this is going to re-rack, restack the field. Let's see if everyone can get through here clean. And it looks like they do, at least through the first corner. Oh, little contact there. Wheels, he gets yeeted almost. We got a problem. The 24 goes around. And we instantly have a bottleneck situation. Multiple trucks involved, including Jackson Dixon, Hunter Bogdan, Charles Whitehead again. This coming right off of the restart. Sibanovsky also involved. You know what they say, cautions breed cautions here. Let's go ahead and try that one more time. Yeah, that incident there has already started. Let's go ahead and roll that back just a little bit. So here we go. This is on the initial restart. What do you say we go on board here with Mike Sibanovsky? Going to slow this down just a little bit here. Go a quarter speed. You can see, it looks like he's in the outside wall there just a little bit, or just scraping it ever so slightly. He starts to turn into the corner here. And he is going to get some help, and he is going to get sent around. Oh, and everyone right there. And like I was telling you guys earlier, with these blind corners, you can't see what's happening in front of you. And by the time the rest of the field comes around, you know, Mike's pointed in the wrong direction. So is the 83 there. I mean, Calamity Corner strikes again on the restart, as I believe that's going to bring us back to another yellow flag condition here in the Demon Truck Series. It doesn't. Green flag reigns supreme. That's certainly going to widen out the field just a little bit. Gary W. Smith continues to carry the torch here in that 3. He has been the man with the plan. Ryan Phillips, though, this guy came here hungry, started in the next zip code, up 11 spots. He's basically all the way there. He's in P2 now. Has his sights set on that Chevrolet, just a couple trunk lengths in front of him, and he has the dial set to terminate. 3-truck breakaway here at the front of this piece. Smith, Phillips, and Baker in that 84. A Chevrolet, a Toyota. Make that a Chevrolet and 2 TRD machines. In the words of Toyota, let's go places, and that's exactly what Phillips has done, is he's taken it to the front. You know, the onboard action here just looks absolutely terrific. Let's do it again. You hear him really working that throttle as he climbs up through the gearbox. This is a high-speed section of the configuration. Hard on the binders now. As that left-hander, you have to be careful how you squeeze back into the throttle. Now you have a downhill hard braking zone. This is the Xfinity zone. Phillips knows how to drive a road course. No question about it. Look how smooth he is. Man, I can't send it through there like that. Absolutely incredible pictures coming out of the 23 machine. So we now come over the overpass, rocketing back down here into the park region. Gary W. Smith, Ryan Phillips, Eddie Baker, Austin Wheeler, in that 48 machine, and Kevin Coleman round out the top 5 as they run with 15 laps to write in the history books from the inaugural Demon Truck Series competition here in the Great Lakes region. Pull up some battle box information. There we go. Here's your battle for first for the lead, respectively, as Gary W. Smith starts to pull a little bit of a gap now on Phillips. Last time by, Smith ran a 133.38 to Phillips's 88. So that would make sense as he's pulling away ever so slowly. Some great side-by-side action here. There's the 23 of Phillips under duress now from Eddie Baker. Oh, he's going to get spun! Baker. No, it wasn't Baker. That was Phillips that got yeeted. Your biggest mover of the race. Again, these guys are driving really hard right here. Going to make a move. And he's going to just gets turned. He tried to cut that. He cut the nose. That's really not. Before I make that decision, let's wind this back here really quick again. One more time here. Get another look at it. Stop it, right? Yeah, that's just, perhaps that's a racing incident upon further review. We watch them come around this corner one more time. Inside, and again, it's really hard to give someone room here because you just don't have any. You don't have any room to begin with. It's challenging for one truck to fit through there at speed, let alone two. So you really got to pick your poison, and be confident, where you want your passing zones to be, because sometimes, what you would normally do at a normal road course track or a racetrack any other given Sunday, just the same rules do not apply here. Getting a report that DJ Daniel in that 96 has also had problems out there on the racetrack. Team's got a replay of that queued up for us. Let's go ahead and jump to that coverage. What happened to the GOAT? And as we're on the GRN instant replay covering what happened to DJ Daniel, caution now out of full course yellow on the racetrack. He just overcooks the corner there. But that really shouldn't have counted as an incident, though. Unless this happens further up the road here. Did he get into it with Schuler? Let's jump a little further in future here. Trying to figure out what happened to the 96 of DJ Daniel. Oh, the 31 conks the tire barrier. That's not it, though. And now we're not seeing... Oh, he is still on the racetrack. He's being shown in that 12th place position. Well, sometimes things, I guess, aren't meant to be seen live for whatever reason. So we'll go ahead and we'll just cut back to the live action here. And as I told you when we were going back to the replay, caution waves once again. Gary W. Smith currently continues to carry the torch. He's your leader, and he has been the man with the plan here since the drop of the initial green flag. Eddie Baker now in that 84 machine. He's going to take over that second place position. Austin Wheeler in the 48, up 2 spots from where he started, currently holds that final podium position in that 3rd place, or slotting in that 3rd place, I should say. Kevin Coleman, 00, having a great run, up 2 spots inside the top 5, solidified himself in that 4th place position. Mike White slid back 2 spots, still having a great run in that TRD powered pickup truck. Rounds out your top 5. Then you got Ryan Phillips, Randy Schuler, Trey Whitehead, and Brock Whitehead. Oh, Trey and Brock getting in on a little truck action. That could shake things up here a little bit in the series. Let's see if Brock has his game face on. Let's see if he's prepared tonight. Survey says, oh, he does. If you're not first, you're last, Ricky Bobby. I absolutely love it. See, that's what I'm talking about. Brock knows what's up. Little broadcast eye candy. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. He's also my teammate, Whitehead Racing, in the Ghost Cup Series Thursday night action. The Texan. I did not know he was from Texas. If you're not first, you're last. Well, right now, with that logic, he thinks he's last, but by modern day standards, that's 10th place position. Not having a bad run here for the driver of the number 82. I'm going to take a guess and say that Whitehead Racing entry tonight. Interesting seeing some of the bigger names in the Cup Series now coming over and competing in the Truck Series. To see how that goes as time progresses. Wide things out and back for you guys at home. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us here live on GRN. You got it turned into the right YouTube channel. Now join the right place each and every time you're fixing for some iRacing action. Live, of course, 5 nights a week, or they actually have 6 nights of coverage now right here on GRN. Anything under the umbrella. Money racing, you want it, we got it. Short track action, we got it. Road course racing, obviously right here in the Demon Truck Series, you got it. And exclusively, the only place you're going to find the upcoming Reaper Xfinity Series right here on GRN. That just a couple months up the road. We always got the wheels turning, got new content coming from you guys, so make sure you slap the like button, ring the bell, so you're notified each and every time GRN is live in prime time. Pit stops underway as well. Brock Whitehead there in the 82. Wonder if anyone has anything for Smith tonight. So this guy's been next level, pretty much lights out. That Chevrolet Silverado Pace truck, he's getting its money's worth tonight. The field now going to have to resort, get set back to go green flag racing one more time here. You know, it's interesting to take a look here at the pit strategy. You know, a couple of these guys look to only have pit once. Perhaps they're trying to one-stop this race. Charles Whitehead, the 51, currently in the pits. Hunter Bogdan, also moderate damage for him. He's pit side. Jackson Dixon in the 33. Also on pit road, getting damage repairs done. They're pretty much going to be expired here, as they've been in their pit boxes almost 20 minutes trying to get repairs completed. Unfortunately, a couple early exits. You know, so like I said, Charles Whitehead, Curtis Rogers, Robert Gerard in the 311 machine. There's an interesting number selection. I wonder if that's his favorite band. Kerry Cleaver, unfortunately having a short stint tonight, already back on the hauler. As we said, it'd be a story of attrition, and it certainly has been. Take a look here at some of the scenic views from downtown Chicago. The northern Midwest, or the northern, I call it, pretty much it's not that far from, Canada. But right on the shores of the Great Lakes, not very far from Michigan. I myself being from Buffalo, New York, which is right off of Lake Erie. And then if you go about 15 miles north, you're Lake Ontario. So it gets cold up there in the winter. A lot of lake effect snow. Jim Cantori made his famous thunder snow quote, which went viral years back ago, right here from the Windy City, downtown Chicago. And now let's throw some NASCAR action into the mix here as well. Lights go out on the pace truck. That means it's going to get hot and heavy this time by once more. As they come down here, which is the front stretch, you can see just how high those fences have been constructed to keep any, in case one of these vehicles decides to take flight, parts go flying into the air. Try to keep it contained, mitigate injury. So much time in preparation to put this together. We wait for them to come over, or come across the overpass, I should say. That sounds a little bit better. See just how hard and how tight these corners are. Into the Toyota fan zone we go. Getting a direct team orders here. Charles Whitehead, you got it, buddy. Says pull Robert in the booth. So I guess my old partner in crime who dumped me on the blind put it in the needed a Big Mac and smashed the wall there. Now he wants to come up here in the booth, but more than happy to do that for you, Charles. We get ready to go back green flag racing. That pace truck's going to pull off here as I'm trying to find Robert at the same time. And there he is, Robert, as we go back to green flag racing here with 9 laps remaining. Welcome back to the booth, my friend.
Welcome. How's it going, buddy?
It's going. You tell me how it's going.
Oh, just bad luck tonight.
Well, you're fresh off the racing surface. What was it like out there? Was it like anything else you've ever experienced?
In my opinion, it was a little different than what I'm used to. Didn't expect to run the trucks on the street course at all. But hey, we're having fun out here.
Hey, that's what it's all about, having fun. And unfortunately, yours expired a little prematurely. Maybe part of that's karma for just blindsiding me and not saying, hey, buddy, I'm going to be in the truck tonight. Find yourself another number 2.
Well, it didn't help either that I didn't have my number. I'm supposed to be the 54, and they put me in the 311 machine.
You know what's funny about that? I made a comment before you jumped up here in the booth. I said, I wonder if that's his favorite band. Now I know that's not the case.
I was listening to the broadcast before you brought me up in here. It's pretty interesting.
He's paying attention, folks. He knows what he's doing.
I'm going to have to go off of the pure broadcast because I can't get back into the session.
Yeah, you're perfectly fine, man. Carry the workload here and talk to you about what you experienced out there on the racetrack. Is now 8 laps to write in the history books for this inaugural event. And just right on time, Eddie Baker cooks up a hot one, 1:32.29. The new fastest man in town now has a 1.50 second advantage over Smith in the 3, Austin Wheeler, and he backs it up again. He goes even faster. He's flirting on the low side of the 1:32 second bracket, a 1:32.29. He is almost 2 seconds faster than anyone else on the racetrack.
Yeah, Baker was pretty quick when I was out there on the track. Couldn't keep up with him.
He's cooking.
Yeah, he's going for that win tonight.
Okay, now he's just showing off. He just, the timing and scoring is going ballistic with how much his pace has picked up here. Let's go on board with the Pied Piper of Chicago here. Just take a look at how he is ripping. Oh, yeah, he can see he's really sawing at the wheel now. How is he getting that truck to stop like that? Really aggressive there with the throttle up over the hill through the Big Mac zone. He makes this look easy. And it's anything but. Robert can even tell you that. He was out there in this.
Yeah, it's not easy, especially in what zone is it? Xfinity zone, I think it is. As it gets tighter.
Yeah, the Xfinity zone. Yes, sir. And the other thing is, when you go to most racetracks you go to, even if it's been resurfaced, most of what you're going to be competing on, it has the same age. That racetrack has been repaved. If it's 2 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe a patch here or there, but on a street course, you got to remember some of these roads are new, and the others that we're running on, 40 to 50 years old. So that's going to change the handling characteristics of your truck, depending on what section, of this course you're currently on.
Yeah,
so,
and there was a lot of bumps in some of the sections too, and you could tell which ones were older and which ones were newer.
Yeah, great feedback there. And, obviously up here, where this track is, where we currently are right now, they get all 4 seasons here. This is in South Florida. So, you got the snow, road salt. If you're from the Northeast or anywhere that, you get snow, I mean, you know what the salt does. It destroys everything, puts massive potholes, bumps in the road, as you were describing. So, this place is a completely different animal than what, most even seasoned veterans are used to. Good Lord, Eddie Baker. I wouldn't think you would need an afterburner here on a street course, but he's found a way to use it successfully.
Yeah, he flipped that switch. He turned it on. He's going places now.
Yeah, he's going. I hear he's going to California. He's just got to keep it inside the circuit until the laps are completed for it to still count as a win. He can't jump on. He can't jump on the Beltway just yet.
Not yet. Can't hop in the jet neither.
Well, he feels like he's in one right now. That's for certain.
Oh yeah, he's setting a pace like that too.
Now here's it. This is what's interesting. The rookie sensation from the ghostly side of things. Wheeler in that 48 has matched, well, almost matched the speed of Eddie Baker. He's chopped 1.75 seconds, I believe, off his lap times over the past 3 laps. Now he is in the 132 bracket, a 132.92 compared to Baker's 132.63. So Wheels has found a way to get it rocking late here in Chicago. And Eddie Baker says, I see you. Check out these numbers, a 131.95.
He's like, I'll just turn up the heat up just a little bit more.
He is toying. He's toying with the competition. Oh, and Wheels just parked it in the fence.
Oh, that's a bad day.
And I get it. 5 laps to go. He is trying to get everything he can out of it. And that may leave a mark. The driver of the 48.
That one's definitely going to hurt. He's going to feel that one for a little bit.
More so emotionally, probably, and he'll be thinking about that all week long. I mean, great to see, him just, in real time. One of the factors, one of the keys, to being a good race car driver is what can you figure out in the heat of the moment, real time, that you can use to your advantage to make you better. And clearly, Austin Wheeler was going to work, and he found something, was able to really improve his lap time, before that incident happened. And then Eddie Baker just decides to go supersonic status here. It lays down a 131.95. 2 seconds faster again. Something tells me that 84 can probably has more speed left in the tank.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely got a lot of speed left in the tank.
So he started on the pole, if you remember. In fact, the
did.
top 2, no change. The 84 started P1. He currently resides in first place. Gary W. Smith in the 3 machine started P2. He owns that slot right now. Then Wheeler continues to hold on to that third place position, with a little bit of damage on that Chevrolet Silverado. In the 48 camp, they're probably gritting their nails, hoping he can hang on to it here and get himself a good top 5 finish here. And then the similar story for Coleman in the 00. He's up 2 spots from where he started in 4th. And guess who's in 5th in their Demon Truck Series debut? The fathead himself, Trey Whitehead, 83.
Yeah, he's getting places too.
Oh, he got yeeted.
Oh no.
Yeah, not a lot of damage. He was testing the resiliency of that concrete wall. Just wanted to see how hard it actually was.
That's great.
You spent so much time in the safer barriers these days. He probably just wanted to figure out what the concrete felt like again. That's not the case. He's a really good driver here. And
yeah.
It's funny. He's in a Chevrolet tonight. Got Hendrick.
I thought that was odd.
Yeah, Hendrick cars on the hood. Or I should say on the wrap. They're the primary sponsor here. Now, on the Go side of things, it's TRD. So this is going to have to get used to this. And the same goes for Brock Whitehead, who's in the 82 in the Demon Truck Series, also driving a Chevrolet. Funny how things change. We're now just 3 laps to go here from the Windy City. It has been thunderous. It has been vicious. It has been action-packed at times. Robert, have you got the race pulled back up on your end, sir?
I can't get it pulled up. I'm just going off of your broadcast.
Hey, wait a
It's a couple seconds behind, but I'm making it work.
Yeah. Hey, you're doing great, man.
I'm just feeding right off of you and just keeping it on trucking. You know what I mean?
I'm serious. The way that you've progressed over the past few weeks, man, I really appreciate you being up here when you're able to make it. Definitely adds another layer or two to the coverage. You got one heck of a personality. You're starting to open up a little bit, and it makes it that much more exciting for me up here in the booth when you're here, buddy. So I appreciate you coming back.
It's no problem. I'll come up here whenever I have availability to.
Gotcha. So now he's going to make sure he has basically two races to run on Tuesday night. So if he gets knocked out of one, he can go to another series, not come up in the booth.
No, that's not happening.
Oh, I'm just teasing you, man.
I know.
Last week he got lost at the hot dog stand. They had buy one get one free Dippin' Dots, and the next thing you know, he was dotted out. Baker. This man is of a different origin. After lighting the midnight oil here, you would think those tires would be toast, given the pace he was running before he set it into overdrive. Still out there running 134s.
It almost makes you wonder if he was on the conserve game until he got down to the mark that he knew he could make it.
That's what I'm thinking too, but then again, everyone inside the top 8 pitted last on lap 19. I don't really think you'd have to conserve fuel that much, but then again, I'm not on the racetrack either. Did you get an idea of what the a fuel window would look like?
No, I actually didn't get the chance to look at it.
Yeah, like I said, it was unfortunately a very abrupt ending for you.
Yeah, it was a bad luck night. We'll try again at Milwaukee.
Someone else who's figuring this place out. No surprise, Trey Whitehead, fastest man on this set of Dr. Feelgoods, 1:34.34. So the longer the 83 runs, again, that's being piloted by Trey Whitehead, the faster that truck gets. And there's another guy there, a lot of talent, can dynamically figure things out on the fly. Went up there and kissed the fence just a little bit. Probably trying to scrape some of the bugs off.
Trying to shake that brake dust off.
Final lap. Final time for the 84. What do you say, Robert? We go on board with him to run or to complete this race. But it's not over yet. Anything can happen. It's not over until it's over.
It's not over.
Oh, he almost spun out. Oh, my. You just got to take it easy, Baker. Just take it easy. Nice and slow. You got over an 8-second lead. He's not letting up. He's in the zone right now.
Oh yeah, he's definitely in the zone. He's counting down the corner so he gets it again.
He drifted it there, coming through Big Mac Alley. Hard on the binders, on the downshift. Checkered flag in the air. Gonna string it back out wide. He's walking it out. Eddie Baker wins the inaugural street course race at Chicago and then mows down the fence afterwards.
Oh, that hurt.
That potentially could have been a victory celebration or just sheer enjoyment in missing the corner. But nonetheless, Eddie Baker wins the first race here on the streets of Chicago. Gary W. Smith has a great run in that 3 machine, comes home second. And Austin Wheeler, in spite the adversity, everything else that went wrong for him this race, it wasn't easy, comes home in third. Trey Whitehead just misses the podium. You know he's not going to be happy with that. But what a run for him, the 83. He comes home fourth. And Mike White, Mr. Consistency, in that 19 TRD-powered machine, rounds out the top 5.
I'd say that's a solid top 5 for all of those drivers.
Very solid top 5. Now that this race is done, coming into this event, if I said that was your top 5, anyone stick out to you there that kind of catches your attention?
I think Baker was catching my eye right off the start because when
He
we were
was,
in practice, he was fast. Um, I, I wasn't really expecting any of these guys, but it is what it is. They had a good night. They raced as hard as they could, and they got the thing done.
yeah, he got it done, sir, done. And he's about to get the tires lit and burning, getting the rest of the good out of those good years, burn it down for the fans, and rightfully so. Wonder if he's a former pizza delivery driver, because, man, he made that look really easy.
Yeah, he did make it look a little too easy.
Sometimes, man, I'm not kidding. Those delivery drivers, when you got money on the line, I mean, they know how to get around. Because he's out there burning it down on the racetrack for us tonight. Waiting for him to come up into the waiting room. And as always, we're going to interview the top 3 from tonight's event. Let's take a peek here, see where they're at. Obviously, they're partying a little bit after that performance, especially for those 3 drivers inside the top 3 tonight. They really got up on the wheel. They found a way to make things happen. There you go, buddy. He's so excited over there celebrating with his team. I think he forgot he had to do an interview. That happens sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And let's see here. No love for the broadcast team tonight. No one is in the waiting room. Let's see if we can go track these guys down manually. Where are they hiding? Got myself and you. And that's it. Did they go up to the Cup Series waiting room, perhaps?
Yes.
They...
That's where they're at.
Okay.
No, wait. Austin Wheeler's up there.
Okay.
Eddie Baker's up there. Was Gary the 3rd place car?
Gary W. Smith.
Yes. Then they're all 3 up there in Cup.
They're up in Cup? Okay, so
yes,
let's
sir.
just engage the flux capacitor here. And let's see if we can do this instead of having to make them truck all the way back down to where we're located on this racing surface. The only problem is I cannot see them. There we go. Robert, go ahead and come on over to the waiting room, and we'll interview them.
Okay.
Robert's with me. All right, thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Later.
Well, it's a little bit different than we normally do things here, Robert, but hey, it's Chicago. Let's just interview all these guys that are in here right now. We were down there in the truck broadcast booth, and I said, did they go up to the Cup ones? And we've seen you guys sitting up here, so we're trying to figure out the best way to get up here. That was rowdy on that racetrack tonight. Austin, you obviously had a great run. You come home 3rd in the 48. What was it like racing on the city streets of Chicago, and did it present any new challenges that you didn't think you may have had?
Yeah, man, it was crazy. It was a ton of fun. Definitely wild racing on the street course. It's so tight and narrow. One little slip up and you're in the wall. I thought it was going to be a huge challenge coming from the back. So I had an EOL to begin the race, but I made it up to 4th or 5th, I think, by lap 3. But I just had nothing for the top 2 guys. I mean, Eddie was lights out. There was another guy that ended up getting wrecked out, I think. He was lights out. Gary was fast. It was tough race for sure, but a ton of fun. You had to be careful with the rear tires. You'll burn them off. And that's what I did there at the end. So.
At times we were going on board with different drivers. It looked like it was really easy to just liquefy that right rear if you were too aggressive on the loud pedal. From the start of the broadcast, we knew visibility was going to be an issue. The blind corners, as you mentioned, just the restriction. When you're racing on an oval track or traditional road course track, you have all that runoff area. Here you don't have that. You got concrete on your right and left. I mean, is there anything else that maybe you could have done to your advantage to maybe use strategy perhaps to run the leader down? or was he just that much quicker than everyone else? It seemed like that was the case from up here in the booth.
Yeah, I mean, he was that much quicker than everybody else. There really wasn't too much we could do for strategy, with the stages being pretty much a good length for fuel mileage and stuff. And of course, with the track being so big, you can't try to double up and pit twice and try to beat them on tires. Only thing you can try to do is try to save the rear tires. But yeah, as far as blind corners go, you're really depending on your spotter to give you the right information, because sometimes he'll say somebody's slow on the left and he'll be right, and sometimes he won't be. So then you check that for no reason. So definitely,
That's
definitely a
right.
challenge here, street
I
course.
forgot about that. So then you have to guess, is your spotter right or wrong on top of it? But
Yeah,
again, like Austin
that's quite
said,
a challenge.
he started out in the weeds, the next zip code over, way deep in the field, and once again, Austin finds a way in that 48. He's been sensational on the go side of things as well, and he's backing it up right here in the Truck Series with another phenomenal finish. Austin, before I cut you loose, man, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done, brother?
Yeah, I want to thank my main sponsor, Wheels Painting. Driving for Hubka Motorsports in this truck series, and of course my wife for letting me do this all week long.
Well, see, he's got hubs and wheels. He's got two good things going for him. Hubka Motorsports and Wheels, his primary sponsor. And from the city streets of Chicago, knows how to go fast and furious just at about anything he hops inside of. That is the driver of the 48, Austin Wheeler. Robert, how you feeling, man? Do you want to take the next one?
Nah, I'll let you take the lead on it.
You got it, brother. Well, let's see. How do you want to do this here? You want to change it up a little bit, or you just want to do it the old traditional way?
Do it the traditional way.
I see. Okay. Very traditional. You're a real adventurer there, Robert. I'm just playing with you, buddy. That means Gary Smith gonna be the next man up. Matt and Robert up in the booth. You got us, buddy.
Yeah, I got you.
Gary, you had one heck of a run tonight, man. I mean, that truck seemed like it was going places. Then you had your hands full at time. How are you able to overcome the adversity and the chaos out there on the racetrack?
I was somewhere between luck and skill. I mean, RSR gave me a good truck. Got Boone Tractor as a sponsor. Racing Real Life, that's real people. Uh, the Chicago street course, nuts. He had Wheeler dive bomb me every 5 seconds once he got up to me. Then Robert, he was just gone. But what was that, like lap 3? He got caught up in that thing, and I had no time to stop. Did I get both stage wins?
I believe so. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good for points. But main thing is running for points. I knew that track would eat me up if I got too cocky with it, and so I was just trying to be careful for the most part, and it looks like it paid out for me.
It absolutely did. And as you heard right there, from Gary Smith, he had to respect the racetrack tonight, first and foremost, and it worked out in his favor. Got a question for you, Gary. A lot of racetracks we go to virtually everywhere else, the racing surface is going to, roughly be the same age, except if they patch a spot here, this place, or on the high line against the fence, or, coming out of 3, we'll say the middle. But for the most part, 99.8% of that surface is the same age. Here in Chicago, 1 minute you're on a street that's, 2 years old, and then 500 feet up the road, you're on one that's 38 years old. How did that throw a monkey wrench, or was that a new thing you had to overcome inside the race truck tonight?
It wasn't new because I put some practice into this.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
there definitely is. If you go into a test session, you can feel the difference in grip. It's definitely there.
I thought that may have been the case, and thank you for that excellent feedback. But as you heard, he got some practice time in the simulator so he could try and minimize all the new challenges that he would have to face tonight, and clearly hit it right because he came up just a little bit short. Gary, before we cut you loose, driver of Ronnie Sizemore Racing, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done, my man?
Of course, Ryan, Sizemore, TJ Hanley, they always help a lot. Thomas Fisher, he gives me a little bit of advice here and there. They all run Cup. Of course, my sponsors, Boone Tractor, Sync Septic. There's so many. I race in real life at Franklin County. If any of y'all know that Callaway Speedway, go check that out. That's a cool little track. But that's just about all I gotta say.
Oh, so we got a real weekend warrior. I didn't know you actually raced in real life, man. That's awesome. But hey, you got yourself some mic time tonight. So tell me about your sponsor. What do they do?
They sell tractors, New Holland, Massey Ferguson, Ferris Mowers. They sponsored whole 52 there a couple years ago in the truck
Where
series.
where can people find them? Where are they located?
They are in basically everywhere in Virginia, one in West Virginia. If you're in that area and you need any tractors, anywhere from a tractor to a chainsaw, call Boone Tractor. They got you covered.
Well, there you go. And tell them Gary W. Smith sent you. As again, had a great run here tonight. Gary, thanks for joining me up here in the booth. And good luck next week as you continue your quest for the Cup here in the Demon Truck Series. Robert, one thing left to do here tonight.
Yes,
The
sir.
myth,
Let's
the
go.
legend. What planet is he from? What did you put in your gas tank? You're winner of the inaugural race here from the Windy City. Eddie Baker, Matt and Robert in the booth. You got us.
Yes, I do, guys.
Eddie, I know there's a lot of bacon that goes on here in Chicago. It's pizza, you name it. But you took it literally and you got gone before it got good, it seemed. I mean, you were just next level tonight. And every time it seems like perhaps, Austin Wheeler, got into the same time territory you did, you would just hit the next echelon, the next booster in the rocket ship. I mean, your fast lap out there was a 1:30.195. How do you run those types of times and not cheese grater the heck out of your ride?
It's a lot of practice, a lot of finesse with the throttle and steering inputs. I got to kind of time the downshifts and upshifts perfectly. Pretty much bought this track on Sunday afternoon. Me and my teammate Kevin Coleman here, we both spent numerous hours on Sunday afternoon testing. I think the fastest time I got on this was a 1:30.8, but with the
Oh,
grip
my.
level, I couldn't quite get that down tonight. It just kept spinning the tires.
Did you say you just got this track on Sunday?
Yes, that's correct.
And oh my.
That's magic.
That is
That
that is
is total magic.
that's a skill right there. That is natural born ability. I mean, it was absolutely incredible to watch you just, not to take away from what you do, as you even mentioned there, the rev matching, the downshifting, everything that you have to execute perfectly to put up a lap in that range. And you did it consistently over the course of 30 laps tonight. I mean, is there anything maybe you think? I mean, it seemed like the race was pretty flawless for you. Executed beautifully, had bad fast speed, made the right decisions out there. Was there any real time objections or any things that happened over the course of the race that may have like shook you for a moment, or was it pretty much according to plan how you guys had worked it out before the green flag dropped?
Definitely not according to plan. When we were practicing, I set a 1:31.3 before qualifying opened up, so I missed my mark by 0.6, and then I saw Gary. He got damn close. He was a couple hundredths off of me in qualifying. My plan was to try and get the pole and run away with the whole thing, but I kind of started to pull a little bit on him in the first few laps, but then a lap car, there's not a lot of room to pass here. I think it was the 51.
It was the 51 of Charles Whitehead.
Yeah, I kind of looking at the replay, I thought that he was kind of in the way, but it looks like I just didn't give enough room and kind of drove into the side of him, so that set me back pretty far. That was a costly, unneeded error. And then, coming back through the field and all, it obviously took the stage wins away from me. So trying to come back through the field, the 23 and I were racing pretty hard. And another thing of running out of real estate, I was door to door, got to his inside, and he kind of ran it like he was running by himself, and we got into each other. But I don't know how he got stuck in the wall. So I do definitely want to say not intentional on that to him, and hope he's not too aggravated. But obviously I was able to hurry up down the road and try to contend for the second stage win. But the Sullivan Tire in auto repair Chevy was pretty fast tonight, and it was a lot of fun. I kind of enjoyed this track with the looseness of these trucks.
I'll say it was fast. I thought maybe you were sponsored by NASA at first, given the raw, pure speed that you had in that truck tonight. Getting back to what you mentioned there about the battle there with Charles, and the how close quarters just the racing was on the racetrack. You're exactly right. When I seen that happen, at first I thought perhaps Charles was at fault, and then as soon as I watched it back, I remembered just how close quarters this is. You guys don't have the room that you have at a normal road course or a speedway here. The corners are super tight, and some of these turns you can barely get one truck through there, let alone two. And just like you said, and I think that was the case with the 51 as well. Just didn't realize that you guys were that much closer together. You made incidental contact, and as far as Charles getting stuck in the fence, well, he's pretty good at getting stuck places on the racetrack, so that's right up his alley. I'm just kidding. I love Charles. I'm gonna hear about that one from my team owner, but that's okay. I love that man to death. He's a good guy over there at Whitehead Racing.
Hey,
And
I let him have it sometimes when we're in the chat. I'll be like, "Hey, man."
Something tells me I'm gonna be the one in the fence here come Thursday.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not, but hey, you never know, right? I mean, got a good taste firsthand. Again, ladies and gentlemen, want to thank all you guys for coming out here tonight. That, again, was Eddie Baker, the fast man with the plan from the Windy City, from the city streets of Chicago, just off the Great Lakes here in the state of Illinois. Eddie Baker, want to thank you for joining us up here in the GRN booth tonight. Also want to thank the rest of the top three, Gary W. Smith, Austin Wheeler, for great racing here. The inaugural event now in the history books. We want to thank everyone for joining us here live on GRN. Remember to smash the like button, ring the bell, come home to 6 days of high-octane, high-flying racing network right here on GRN. As my late, great broadcast partner used to say, ladies and gentlemen, as you walk down the road of life this week, do us all a favor. Don't play in traffic, and we'll see you next time live right here on GRN.